In this video, I'm going to talk about again IP addressing and also IP subnetting, but from the operational view. You know that until now, we have learned about the subnetting from a design view, okay? We designed the IP addressing or IP subnetting, but in this video, I'm going to talk about the operational view of the subnetting, how we can use subnetting in our networks. Because of that, in this video, I will show you some devices of the networks. Maybe you don't understand all of the detail of these devices or other usage of these devices. It's not important for us in this video. You will learn about all of these devices and its their usage in the future videos. Now only we are reviewing some of the topics that you will learn about them in the future videos with more explanation. Okay, let me to talk about the IP address subnetting from the operational view. You know that before this video we have learned about the design view only. Okay, first let me to give you some information about the network devices. You know that in one networks we are using, for example, PCs. PC has one network interface card, and with this network interface card or NIC can connect to the network. You know that in your PC you have one or more than one NIC, and you can use this NIC or network interface card to connect to a network. After that, we have one device, one important device in networks. We call it switch. You will learn about the switch and its function in this course. But for now, let me to say that we are using switch for connecting the devices in one network. And this is a intra-network device. Intra-networks means with switch we are connecting devices inside of the networks. And as you know, we have another device, we call it router. Routers are working between the networks. We call it inter-network device. You will learn about the features of the router and also the switch. Don't worry about the detail. First, let me to show you the icon of the switch and icon of the router. In this course, I will use some emulators or simulators. For example, we will see a packet tracer in the future videos, one of the simulators that we are using this simulator in this course, and also you need to work with this simulator. After that, we have another emulator, GNS3. This is the GNS3 as you can see, and you will learn about the GNS3 in this course, and maybe we work with another emulator or simulator if we need. But for now, it's not important to understand the detail of, for example, these icons or these for example, menus. Okay, only I'm going to talk about the IP address subnetting from the operational view. Because of that, I am using this emulator. Don't worry about the detail of emulator, only you need to think about the subnetting in this video. As you can see here, we have some devices. This is the icon of the router. As you can see, this is a cylinder with 4 arrows on it. Okay, let me to show you. We can use this router. If you want, you can click on the router in the simulator, and after that you can drag this router here in the, for example, desktop. This is our desktop, the first router. Let me to drag another routers, and this is the third router. Okay, here we have now 3 routers. Let me to show you. You know that the router is working in between the networks. This is the inter-networks device. You will learn about it, and after that, as you can see now, we have 3 routers: router 1, router 2, and router 3. This is a cylinder, and here we have 4 arrows in different direction, as you can see. Okay, after that we have switch. This is the switch. Let me to show you. This is the switch icon. Let me to drag some switch, Ethernet switch. You will learn about the switch and its function, its usage. But for now, let me to show you these three switches. Okay, now we can draw a network. Let me to draw a network. In routers by default we don't have any port or any interface. Because of that we need to add interface. Don't worry about the detail. I'm going to configure these routers. For example, in different slots of the router I'm going to add some interfaces. You will learn about all of them. Now I added some interfaces on these routers. That's it. Okay, let me also use the computers. Here we have for example the hosts, and we can copy some computers here, drag some computers here. For example, we have 6 computers, okay, or 6 PCs. Okay, after some second we will have 6 PCs. Okay, here we have this computer 4, computer 5, and computer 6. This is only the number. You can change the numbers, change the host name from C4 to C1, for example, and this is the for example C2. Okay, it's not important for us, but and after that we can connect these computers to the switch. Look at here. Here we have the switch 1 connecting the switch 1 to this computer, and after that to this computer. This is the emulator. You will learn about it. Okay, and now we have a LAN. You know that this is a LAN. This is a local area network. Let me to show you. This is our network, and our network for communicating with another networks need to connect to the router. Because of that we are using the router. You know that the function of the router is connecting our network to the other networks. Okay, because of that let me to connect the switch to the router or the default gateway. You know that we call the router the default gateway. This is the first network. Look at here. I can write the first network, network A. Okay, in network A we have 2 hosts, and also in this network we have 1 switch. With switch we can establish the communication between the devices inside of the network, for example between the PC1 and PC2, and the router's interface. This is the router's interface. This is the default gateway of these networks. Okay, because if the computer 1 or computer 2 needs to send traffic to the outside of network, they should use this interface. Because of that, this is the default gateway. This interface, this is an interface, this is an interface or port. We call it default gateway. And after that, you know that here again we have another networks. For example, network B. Here we have network B, and also here we have for example network C. In network B also we have 2 PCs. Let me to show you, and assume that here we have 2 PC. The PC, let me change the host name to the PC3, C3 or computer 3, and this is the computer 4. The detail is not important for us. Okay, only we are learning about the IP address subnetting from the operational view. Okay, after that let me to connect the switch to the switch 2 to the computer 3 and computer 4. This is computer 3, this is the computer 4, for example, and after that we need to connect the switch to the router for communicating with outside of the network. We will configure these scenarios or scenarios similar to this scenario in this course. Okay, after that again we have another networks. This is the network B. Let me write here. This is the network B, and after that here again we have 1 default gateway. This is the gateway of this network, and also we have another network, the network C. Okay, in network C we have again for example 2 computers or 2 hosts. Let me to change the host name of this host from C8 to for example C5, computer 5. Okay, and after that the computer 9 or C9 to the computer 6. That's it. After that we can connect the switch to these PCs, and then to the next PC, for example to computer 6, and finally to the router. Okay, now we have 3 standalone networks, network A and network B and network C. Okay, here we have 3 networks in a local area. It means these 3 networks, for example network A's are the network A is residing in one building, and network B residing in another building, and network C residing in another building, but the network A's devices are near to each other. Because of that we call this network local area networks, local area network or LAN. Maybe you heard before this name, local area networks or LAN. Here we have a LAN, and also here we have another LAN. Here we have another LAN. The LANs maybe are residing in, for example, one city, or maybe they residing in another different cities. This is possible, okay? But you know that for communicating between the networks, network A, network B, and network C, we need to connect the routers to